Hey there! Today we'll boost our energy by focusing on our core, but I promise you, no crunches. Ready? Let's begin.
Welcome to yoga. Meet me in extended child's pose. With your knees wide, your arms out long, rest your forehead on your mat. For this integrative yoga pose, integrate your world, your life, everything off of your mat into this moment so that you can show up. And rise up into a tabletop on your hands and knees. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling and roll out your wrist. Then thread the needle. Come all the way through, down onto your right shoulder, right temple. Deepen your breath. Now de-thread the needle and reach your right arm high. Pivot onto your left leg into a modified side plank. With your right leg straight down on your mat, you can stay here or lift your right leg up for an extra challenge. For 3. Next is a low lunge, so pay attention. 2, you're going to step your right foot through. And 1, step your right foot through to a low lunge. Sink into your hips. Pull forward through your chest. And next is a 3-legged down dog. Press down through your hands as you reach your right leg up and high behind you. Stretch out through your left leg as you roll out your right ankle. Press into your hands to push away from your mat, lifting your hips up a little higher. Then lower your right foot down, traditional down dog. Notice how it feels. Then lower your knees down to tabletop and let's switch sides. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling and roll out your wrist. Thread the needle. Come all the way through, left shoulder down. Deepen your breath. Now de-thread the needle and transition to your side plank, left arm high. You can modify with your right knee down, pivoting your right foot to support you. And if you did on the other side, reach your left leg high. Find your strength. Find your calm. Next is a low lunge. Lower your left hand down, step your left foot through. If it helps, grab your ankle with your hand, pull it up. And sink into your hip. For a 3-legged down dog, plant your hands down, curl your back toes under, reach your left leg high and back, and roll out your ankle. Then left leg meets the right for downward facing dog. Stretch your chest and shoulders and the back of your legs. Your body responds to what you demand of it. And by learning to harness your energy and use it when you need it and rest when you don't, you're building a muscle that will pay off in your practice on the mat and in your life off your mat. From here, lower down onto your knees, take a seat on your heels, and shake out your hands. Swing your legs out around in front of you. And with your feet flat on your mat, knees bent, grab onto the backs of your knees and pull your chest up for a modified boat pose. In fact, this is going to be modified on purpose, so follow along as I'm doing it. Pull your chest towards your knees, lifting your chest up towards the ceiling, and bring your feet in a little bit closer towards you so just your toes touch the mat. Stitch your ribs together so you're not flared through your ribs. pull your belly up and in, and lift your pelvic floor. So all three of those actions at the same time. Stitch your ribs together, pull your belly in, lift your pelvic floor. Keep that engaged the entire time. For 3, you're going to need this engagement for the rest of our core series. 2, and I'll keep reminding you so you don't have to memorize it. 1, release into a star. So you're not done yet. Your arms and legs are reaching out wide like V's in a star, and you need to have them lifted up off the ground in order for your core to work. So 3, you're still here. 2, next is that modified boat. 1, lift up and wrap your arms around your legs. Hold yourself up, lifting up through your chest. Stitch your ribs together, pull your belly in, lift your pelvic floor. Let's add a little bit of movement. 1 breath, 1 movement. So as you inhale, open up into your star. As you exhale, close into your boat. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Keep it going. And try to keep your ribs stitched together, belly pulled in, pelvic floor lifted. And release into a long body stretch. It's important that you work when you work and rest when you rest. Now bend your knees and place your feet flat on the mat for a bridge pose. Arms down by your sides, fingers barely touching your heels. Tuck your tailbone up to the ceiling, and down here, stitch your ribs together, pull your belly in, lift your pelvic floor. Maintain that engagement and lift your hips up as you press your knees forward. Inhale. Exhale to lower your hips back down. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Lift. Lower. Keep it going. 1 breath, 1 movement, and keep your core engaged. Ribs stitched together, belly pulled in, pelvic floor lifted. Your knees are pressing forward, not caving in or splaying open. For 3, ribs stitched together. 2, belly pulled in. 1. Lower your hips down, pelvic floor lifted, and maintain that engagement. Lift your shins to parallel with your mat for a reverse tabletop in your legs. And place your hands on your thighs, just below your knees. With your hands pressing into your thighs, press your thighs into your hands, just enough to feel your core engage. And with this engagement, stitch your ribs together. Pull your belly in, pelvic floor lifted. Now you can just stay here because this is plenty. Or if you'd like to add on a little bit more intensity, lower your right foot down to tap the ground, then bring it back to tabletop. And switch. Left toes down to tap the ground, then bring it back to tabletop. And alternate 1 and then the other, linking breath with movement in whatever way feels most natural to you. And this entire time, stitch your ribs, pull your belly in, lift your pelvic floor. 3, your core is the center of your energy, the center of your being. 2, so put what you have into it. Your body responds to what you demand of it. 1, release, pull your knees into your chest, relax your lower back, rock out a little bit if it feels good. And then rock and roll the length of your spine front and back, gaining enough momentum to eventually rock and roll shoot if it's in your practice, or just roll over your ankles, plant your hands, step your feet back, and meet me in downward facing dog. And then step your feet all the way through, take a seat on your mat, and come to lie down on your back. Pull your knees towards your chest for a full wind pose. Relax your lower back. Then extend your left leg long for half wind, and take a big inhale, press your belly towards your thigh. Exhale to pull your knee across your body and reach your right arm straight out from your side. Then make your way back to center and switch legs. Pull your left knee in, right leg long. Big inhale, belly presses into your left thigh. Then exhale to release your belly back down. Pull your knee across your body and extend your left arm straight out from your side. Then come back to center, pull both knees in, and add a little rocking motion if it feels good for you. Or take any other posture your body's calling out for. And when you're ready, release into your final Shavasana. You've done the work, so relax. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And then roll over into a fetal position on your left side. Using your hands, press yourself up to seated and bring your hands together at heart center. From the light in me to the light in you, namaste.
So how do you feel? No crunches and more energy? That's how yoga should be done. And if you want to stretch out any leftover tightness, join me tomorrow in my 21-day yoga challenge. Just click the link in the description down below or scan this QR code. See you tomorrow.